Thank you so much to Alex for submitting this challenge for us. So we're looking at loyalty points at Superbite's supermarket for this challenge. So if we take a look at that data, then we can see that we've got each row being a unique customer and their purchase total, basically. So, for example, the top row, we can see that this person made their purchase in person and their sale total was £250. So the way that loyalty points work is that they get for every £50 they spend, they get one loyalty point, which seems a bit harsh when a lot of loyalty schemes in supermarkets are spend £1 and you get a point, but hey, that's how Superbytes likes to work. So let's work out those loyalty points by creating our calculated field, and let's just look at how that is written. So we have the sale total divided by 50, and we're rounding that to one decimal place. So something that is nice here is that you can get partial loyalty points on your way to building up to that total. So that's what we have here. So we can see that for the first row, for example, they have 5 loyalty points. Now we want to categorize those. So the way that we want to do that is another calculation. So I've added another clean step, and in this one we're using an if statement. We're saying if the loyalty points are greater than or equal to 7, then they are a megabyte customer. Else if their loyalty points are greater than or equal to 5, so that means that anyone spending between who has between 5 and 7 loyalty points will get the byte classification, and then anyone else who hasn't got at least 5 loyalty points is just a no byte customer. So that's our classifications there. Now we're ready to aggregate our data, sum it up for each of these classifications. So we want to make sure we're grouping by the categories. So the way that we make sure that we're grouping is that we just drag over our category into the group field section, drag and drop, nice and easy. So we've got our category, our gender, and then we're just summing up the number of rows. So that appears, if I can get rid of this quickly. Okay, I can't right click on that one for whatever reason at the moment, so I'll just remove it over here. So the number of rows always appears in our aggregate step, so let's just drag that over to the aggregated fields, and we can see that that comes through. Then we want to have, at the moment, what our data set is looking like. We've got a category, a gender, and the number of rows, and we want to pivot this data instead so that we have a category and then male and female as our 3 fields. So we're going to do a rows to columns pivot. So we change this from a columns to rows to a rows to columns pivot. We pop the gender in the top section, and then we add in the number of rows as the aggregate for new columns at the bottom there. So that now we have our category, our female, and our male as our 3 columns. Now that's left to do is to calculate those percentages of total that Alex wanted us to calculate. So in order to do that, we first will need a total field. So that is just simply adding together the number of male and female customers in each of those categories. And then we're going to divide each of our male and female fields by the total, multiplying by 100 and then rounding to one decimal place to get those percentages of total. So we do that for both the male and the female, and then what we should see is that these 2 values add to 100. So for example, megabyte customers has 53 males, 47 females. That adds up to 100, so our calculation is working the way that we want it to. Wonderful. And then we can just get rid of that total field and output our data. So thank you very much again to Alex for this challenge, and thank you very much for watching.